Hey, look who it is, Carrie Fisher. Carrie, thank you for joining us on Booker's Beat. It's good to see you. Welcome to Dayton.
Oh, thank you for having and welcoming and all of that.
And you know, of course, everyone says it's Princess Leia from Star Wars. I grew up, I was one of those young men you were talking about in your book that had a poster of you in the room.
Came up and said, I thought about you every day, 4 times a day.
4 times a day.
And that's so moving, thank you.
Okay, well, that was me, so thank you for that. Thank you.
For all of us.
Hey, now talk about the show. You've had a very interesting life, and to think if you're going to live to be 100, the first half of the life was, I mean, what's the second half going to be like? Goodness,
Am I going to live to be 100?
Who knows?
I would have taken so much better. No, you know how I don't want to be some doddering, but you never know. Maybe that partial lift thing, you won't need a partial by then. No, my life is unusual. You know, it's a Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. Right. Yeah. So I've had an interesting life.
But it's interesting to see that, you know, you had the star mother, the singer father, and everybody thinks, oh, it's storybook. It's going to be just a storybook. And it was almost, like you said, it was kind of a curse.
Well, it is, I guess. What kind of storybook is that?
Is it a haunted?
Yeah, it's a Grimm's fairy tales. No. You know, I think it looked better from the outside. Anyway, it was made for the outside. You know, there are certain people that live from the outside in. And I think that's why I'm so sort of like fixated on my inner world. Like, how do I feel about looking like this?
Right. Well, how do you describe this show? Now, I saw it, and I would say I feel like a fly on the wall, and I'm in your psychiatrist's office, and you're dumping everything to your psychiatrist, and I'm kind of watching.
I have no idea what I save up for those people, although I think I'm kind of graduated from that area. That's what I went to one, and I was like, they started asking me questions about, and I said, please just read my book, and then I can go any questions. No, it's not that. The stuff that I talk about was out there. You know, so it's like they put in the paper that I was in a rehab. So what are you going to do? You want to stay mom after that? They put in the rehab that I was in a mental hospital and wrote Carrie Fisher's tragic life. You can't, that's not fair. You can't say that covers the whole thing. This was a moment or 5. And so it's my version of events that already were out there. And if you had a rumor out there that you were, you know, a drug-addled, which I have heard about you, person that's had a lot of electroconvulsive therapy and it didn't work.
That's why we have so much in
That's
common.
right. That's so wouldn't you want to do your version? Like, hey, hang on a second.
Do the truth.
The truth and the funny truth.
Yeah.
Not the awful truth. It's necessarily funny.
Is this therapy for you too, though?
No, therapy is therapy. This is a show. But actually, here's how it is therapy. If I'm in a bad mood, it doesn't happen that often. I'm much older now, and I'm only 3 years older than you and 2 years older than Madonna. She looks better than both of us. It has to be funny. Yeah. It's the best alchemy you can do is take something that was just awful at the time. Yeah. And you know, things are just so awful that then they're funny, though. That is, like when you're in a mental hospital, those are some of the funniest people in the world. Because it's like, you've circled the drain already. This is the drain.
But listen, your books, and I brought them, and thank you. Hilarious. So obviously, Wishful Drinking, that was a few years ago. And then this just came out, what, Shockaholic was just last year?
Yeah, I think it was. It was recently. Yeah. So someone said, there seems like there's like self-loathing in your show, and it's like, that's the opposite of, self-loathing would be if I couldn't tell you that. Yeah. That I just, you know, and it's acceptance of it and my slant. Yeah, it's not going to be your version of events.
Right. So how would you describe the show to people that are like, they want to come see it? I mean, you laugh, you cry.
Well, I actually saw a commercial that I made of the show, and when I was fatter, and that I was very, you know, distracted by that. I was very distracted by the fatness. But I said, you know, if you want to come and look down on me, I said, thank God it's my life and not hers, then please come down. And I have one of those lives that I think you would have thought, God, that must be so great.
Yeah. Why did you decide to take it? I mean, you wrote the book. Why did you decide?
No.
Or was the other way around? Was it the show and then the book?
Yeah, and then it's sort of like taking dictation. It was already out there again, and I had to change it to put it down. This is putting it out. Yeah. So putting it down is different than out.
Yeah, well, it looks like you're having fun with it.
I am having fun, and I wasn't at the time, and the audience, I'm dragged them into it somehow.
I know I ran into somebody the other night that said they were in the front row and you were picking on them.
In a negative way?
No, in a fun way.
No, last night I did find one guy because he was sitting like this. And I
Right
just,
there.
but it's like, that's, I think, what anybody would do. You project all your fears out there. So I look for those people, and then I look for the friendly ones.
The guy that didn't want to, his wife drug him here. Is that what
Yes,
that
that's
kind
right.
of
That guy, and then there was the woman that I accused of being a drug dealer.
Oh, good.
And
Well, welcome to Dayton.
Michelle,
So,
yeah. And then there was Greta, who couldn't answer any of the sex questions right. And then there was the woman right there that was nude from the waist down.
Oh, well, interesting.
At least emotionally.
Well, Carrie, break a leg. Thank you so
Thank
much, sweetheart. I
you,
appreciate
and
that.
thank
Well,
you
we
for
better
coming
hurry
to
up
the
because this
show.
is going to be with Carrie Fisher here at the Victoria Theater.
Please
By the
come
way,
down and see me,
yeah,
and he'll be nude.
and I'll be new. Well, that may keep people away. She's
No,
here through
because
April
you can see
22nd.
that he's a substantial guy.
Well, yeah, I need to
Look.
lose some weight. Watch it. Okay, Jim Booker, 2 News.